good. The guys gave great energy, spirited competition, did some teaching as well, but it was a positive day for sure.
With this team trying to kind of go back into the development mindset, just kind of what were some of the things that you touched on teaching?
Different, not techniques, but things that we know we need to do, and so they're sort of attached to one another. A lot of coaches tend to think, okay, when you're talking about offense, you're talking about offense, and you're talking about defense, you're talking about defense. Well, they're intertwined. So, for example, if you miss a shot in the paint, you miss a layup, for example, that can make your transition defense more difficult. So there was just sort of an emphasis on not only the finishing aspect of not how to finish, but finishing, and then making sure how we rotate back defensively to take care of things. Obviously, that's not there.
Can you just give us any updates on why Trey isn't here today?
He has an excused absence, and it is something that we were made aware of very early. So, I'm not going to go into much more detail than that, but definitely an excused absence.
Is it kind of hard maybe when you have a star guy like Trey not here, when you're trying to get ready to put in your new game plan for Friday's game with him not being here?
Yeah, I don't think. First, anytime you have something where people are missing, I think there's a tendency for people to jump to conclusions. We want to make sure everything's good. There's a reason he's not here. Again, like I said, I won't go into that. But the most important thing is making sure that everything is fine, which we believe it is, and we're just. That's the most important thing. And so, no, we still also have a day of preparation in the morning for our shooting. We'll get prepared for the game tomorrow.
So you're hopeful he'll be here tomorrow?
Yeah, we're hoping that everything continues to stay positive in terms of the information that we get, and then we go from there.
Joe, I know Nate talked about before the break making sure that everybody gets their break, but also stays in good fitness shape. Do you think you've seen that as these guys have come back?
I think today was better than yesterday. You could tell that there had been time off. You could tell that there were varying degrees of what guys probably had done. But I do think most guys got something in, so that was a positive. It's interesting. You usually don't want to be the back-to-backs are tough, right? But in this situation, I think the back-to-back actually could help. Cleveland is going to get a game under their belts. And then come in having had that. I would anticipate there could be some rest, but hopefully for us. But hopefully these 2 days of practice were enough to prepare us to be ready for the game.
Obviously, practice doesn't necessarily dictate what will happen in a game, but how do you kind of go about scrimmaging to kind of get that rest to kind of not drop a little bit?
Exactly, yeah. We definitely went up and down more yesterday than today, and for obvious reasons. And then we have a game tomorrow, so there was, intent with everything that we did, not only within the plan, but understanding that we have a game coming up. So I think for us, there was, like I said, to answer your question, we had up and down both days, but significantly less today.
There's kind of been, Nate's had his rotations for most of the season. Now that you're the one making those decisions, do you see any bigger changes, or will there be small tweaks here and there?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of things that we'll look at, and evaluate. Like, for example, there were things we did today that we just took a look at. Let's see what this looks like out on the floor, whether it was a concept or a group of a unit on the floor together. I don't anticipate making wholesale changes to what we've done. Again, there's a foundation in place, within plays that we run, spacing that we have on the floor, concepts defensively. And so again, we're going to evaluate everything. I think, we will have a rotation, but philosophically, one of the things I believe in is that when your number is called, be ready to play. You got to be ready to go. And I know that's not always easy, but none of us know exactly how the game is going to go, right? There injuries come into play, fouls come into play. So again, I think you're not going to see this drastic change like, oh my goodness, but we'll definitely take a look at what we think is best.
How similar or different is your coaching style when it compared to Nate McMillan's, and how can you kind of change the culture a little bit in such a short time?
I don't know how to explain differences, and what I can say is coach is amazing. Like, I've learned so much from him. I've been very blessed to work for the coaches that I have, and as coaches, like, there's the basketball side, which speaks for itself, and then there's the personal side, and if you know the man, like, you're not going to find him any better. And so if I can be half the person that he is, I'd be really proud of that. And from a coaching standpoint, I guess if I could be half the man that he is, I'd have 380 wins or something like that. So that's pretty good too. So from that standpoint, look, I'm going to go out, I'm going to be positive with the guys, but if they mess up, I'm going to give them love, and I'm going to tell them that, look, this is what we need to do better. We had examples of things today where spacing wasn't right, so we had to address it. And so it's, to me, it is when you're good, we let you know you're good. When you did something wrong that you have an opportunity to improve on, let's improve on it. And if you were the example, then let that be an example. Thank you for being the example. Let everybody learn from that so we don't make the same mistake.
Do you feel like the break is helpful to catch up Sadiq on what is going to happen here? And if so, like, how far along would you say he is?
Yeah, I think he's getting better every day. I think he, and I, you only bring up Sadiq, but Garrison and Bruno are another two that are trying to learn it. And I think one of the things that gets lost in the shuffle is you talk about trying to learn a system. The other part is you're trying to learn your teammates, like who does what, where do they shoot from, how do they play best, and there's certain things that just make sense for guys. But for all three of them, I think there's a learning curve. I think it has helped him to get a few practices under his belt. But there's still going to be things that he goes through in games that will be, okay, I just learned something new again. And it's on all of us to help him get there.